So you should be taking cover in Ottawa County right now. There's a downburst definitely heading your way. And this is Mark Torregrossa here. We're just going to stay on this, try to continue to track this across the state. So the bright blue there, Holland, Zeeland, up to Port Sheldon, heading toward Allendale, heading toward Hudsonville very shortly, just within a matter of minutes. It's probably toward Hudsonville at about 9 o'clock or so. You should be taking cover. See what the Weather Service has to say about this, if they have any reports. Van Buren now, a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see, Ottawa County reporting a rain-wrapped wall cloud, definitely a strong updraft into it. Southwest of 128th and Lake Michigan Avenue. And not really sure okay, there's a new link, folks, that you're going to want to go to. So check MLive. And bear with me here, folks. In Ottawa County, there's a strong gust of wind heading into Robinson, Allendale, Hudsonville right now. And bear with me. So this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa as we track this storm system. Could be gusts up to 70, 75 miles an hour in this. So continue to track this. So there we have it. It's heading toward Hudsonville, Allendale, the most severe line of the storms. All right, here we go. All right, folks, it looks like we're back. Okay. Hang tight here, folks. I'll be right back. Going to try to get a better connection. All right, I'm back. And looks like things are lagging on the radar. And just a second, folks. So we have the tornado warning in effect for Ottawa County. Looks like the strong winds continue to head to Hudsonville, and then there's strong winds behind that too. Okay, it looks like they're trying to work things out here, folks. So I'm just going to continue to track and show you what's going on. So let's see what reports we have. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgro. So they're showing a wall cloud coming onshore. It looks like we're going to have a tornado warning for Kent County here very shortly. Just based on the fact that it's a very severe thunderstorm and it can have rotations that bring tornado damage, or it can have straight line winds that also bring tornado damage. So we'll be waiting here. Weather Service telling us it's probably a tornado warning coming for Kent County. So you should be taking cover in Kent County. It's going to be there very shortly here, just within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. I'll give you the look you're used to seeing. And so there's your squall line, and this may not be, this is probably not it. Okay, there's our tornado warning, I'm guessing for Kent County. Guessing, let's see. Okay, that continues the tornado warning for Ottawa County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes at 9:05 and extensive straight line wind damage. You're located on a line from Allendale to Hudsonville, moving east at 50 miles an hour. Hudsonville and Jenison around 9:10. No tornado warning for Kent County yet. We're hearing that a member of the public reports funnel cloud at 48th and Port Sheldon, Hudsonville at the current time. Probably not an authentic tornado in this, but a tornado embedded in a squall line, or rotations embedded in the squall line. And there's a good perspective there for you on the squall line. So it extends from, well, there you see where the tornado warning continues. Okay, here's a new tornado warning. So Coopersville, it's right on your doorstep. Allendale, it's in your area. Hudsonville, it's right at you now. Heading toward Wyoming, there you can see the new tornado warning just issued for Kent County. And it encompasses Byron Center, Cutlerville, Kentwood, Wyoming, Grand Rapids, Walker, Northview, basically all of the Grand Rapids area. East Grand Rapids, Ada, Wyoming, all of those in the path of this line of severe thunderstorms. Continue to look at the radar reports and the storm reports. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9:45 for Allegan, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties outside of the tornado warning for wind gusts to 70 miles an hour. Expect considerable tree damage. Alrighty. So in the Grand Rapids area, you should be taking cover. You know, basement, hopefully you have that. If you don't, go to the middle part of your house, definitely away from the windows. Just be a quick hitter. You're in this type of severe weather for 5 or 10 minutes. But I should mention that behind it, it does appear as though there could be strong winds behind it too. And we're seeing the tornado, the tornadic supercell thunderstorms developing around South Bend. We do now have a tornado warning right into the very southwest corner of Michigan. Radar indicated coming up through Michigan City, heading toward New Buffalo Township, southwestern Berrien County under the tornado warning until 9:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located along a line from Town of Pines to Westville, moving northeast. It'll be it's at Michigan City now, heading toward New Buffalo and Three Oaks around 9:20 to 9:35. So that's the second tornado warning. And then as you look down to the south, and if you see one of these tornado warnings pulsating, that means that is an observed tornado warning, like this one down in Indiana. A large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Boone Grove. That's in Indiana, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So that cell we will want to track, but at the moment, that one's pretty far south. You could see clearly the trajectory of all of these storm systems. They're moving toward the northeast. So right now, the large and dangerous tornado on the ground south of Gary and southwest of South Bend would still be an hour away from anywhere in Michigan. Tornado warning also on the west side of Chicago, and then tornado warnings down near Rensselaer, Indiana. Here's our situation. By the way, you know, and I had talked about this earlier, that the radar, this is a very dynamic situation. The radar is going to change quickly because as the storm pushes an outflow out and hits a boundary, another storm will pop. So this thing will kind of evolve as it goes across the state. Common sense, we've been warning you about this. Reason why we've been concerned is the upper level energy, the wind speeds. 15,000 feet, we're seeing about an 80-mile-an-hour wind. Here's another tornado warning issued here. Seeing about an 80-mile-an-hour wind. That, of course, can mix down to the ground and produce damaging wind gusts. New tornado warning south of Michigan in Indiana. Let's go back to the radar. We're just going to track this along. It's going to be a little while, get comfortable. Give you an idea. Let's see, it's 9:13 right now. The Bow Echo is heading toward Grand Rapids. You're going to have it within the next 10 minutes. And then Allegan County, you're having it now also. So around the tornado warnings, we have severe thunderstorm warnings for Kent County, Berry County, could be 70-mile-an-hour winds with this. Expect considerable tree damage and, of course, power outages. So this Bow Echo probably is along US 127 in about an hour at 10 o'clock, and then it's probably towards Saginaw, Flint, Bay City about 11 o'clock. And we want to watch that southern sector where it's the warm sector. So get ready, Kalamazoo, Portage, Union City, Jackson, Lansing. You could be more in the isolated, the scattered supercell thunderstorms that can produce tornadoes. One actually is on the ground and large in northern Indiana. And thanks for joining me on MLive here. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Let's go in and see what's happening as we get toward Grand Rapids. See if we can find wind speeds for you. Okay, so the strongest right now would be right near Wyoming, right here. Showing about 57 miles an hour. So you got wind gusts to 60 miles an hour, maybe 70 miles an hour, and there can be rotations in here. That's why the National Weather Service has actually issued a tornado warning for a bow echo and straight line winds, because there can be tornadoes embedded in there very quickly. Now you can actually, now remember I told you that on the radar, here's the radar right here. That's why you always see that clear circle right at the radar. But note out here, this is going to be pretty high up in the sky, but that is the jet core. That is that's what's driving this. That's why we've been concerned with it. When you look out here, you're seeing almost 90 mile an hour winds. Remember though, that is about 10,000 feet up in the air, but that's the jet core that fuels these severe thunderstorms. And now let's see what we can find in here. And now as we get closer to the radar, we're getting closer to the ground. We can have some ground clutter, but we're also getting more of a ground truth, so to speak. Let's see what the storm relative velocity looks like. So the rotations, if there are any in there, are Cutlerville, Kentwood, Wyoming, heading toward east Grand Rapids. And then around Kent County, we have strong winds. So the tornado warning in effect there. Go see if the Weather Service has any reports for us. 47 mile an hour wind gust at 88th and Riley in Holland at 9 p.m. Allegan County Emergency Manager Sarah Clark saying starting to see trees and wires down near the city of Allegan and south. Severe thunderstorm warning for Muskegon County is canceled. Trees and power lines down in Zeeland. Now here's a picture. There's a picture. Let's see. This is posted. This is in the Zeeland area. weather company, Weather Channel, Brian Fortier, says that his baby sister has posted this. That could be the circulation. It's hard to tell. You know, you can imagine that there was a tornado there in Allegan, 108th near M40, looking northeast. Tornado warning for southeastern Ottawa County. It has moved out, and that has now been canceled. We have a new severe update. Let's take a look at it. Sticking with, so here's your brand new tornado forecast, and the yellow showing that as those storms from northern Indiana move into the southwest corner of Michigan, that's the greatest chance of a tornado. That's a 10% chance of a tornado. Then the rest of us in the brown have a 5% chance, and we all have the black hatched mark, which means that we could have an EF2 tornado. So this line of severe storms right on Grand Rapids now. Let's look at the velocity, see what we have. And the bright green by Kentwood, that's probably the worst part of the wind gust, and we're going to know what it is because at that Doppler radar is also the National Weather Service office, and also that would be authentic NOAA weather instruments. So we're going to get an actual full-fledged wind gust measurement here in a couple of minutes. All of this moving toward the northeast. So your leading edge, the gust front as we call it, getting ready to head toward the airport, southeast side of Grand Rapids. The winds are coming through Grand Rapids right now. Looks a touch weaker than it did as it came onshore, but as it approaches the radar, gets right onto the radar, we don't get as great of a look. Let's see what's going on down here. Remember, the important ones, these pulsating tornado warnings like this one in red, means that it is a observed tornado with a considerable threat. What they're saying here is this is still in north central Stark County in northwest Indiana and southwestern LaPorte County. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located over Coots, or about 8 miles east of Hebron, moving toward the northeast at 35 miles an hour. So that would still be quite a ways away from Michigan, and hopefully it will not hold together as it does. Let's see what that looks like with the velocity mode. So there you can clearly see the tornado right there. Right here, that's the confirmed large tornado on the ground. Let me just back out for you and just kind of give you an idea of where this thing would be moving. The track shows that this would be moving in this direction right here. So if it gets to Michigan, and holds together. We'd be looking at somewhere around Edwardsburg, Montville, Simonton Lake, Vandalia. And that indeed would be, well, we could track this one. That's about 20 minutes of movement, so it'd be about 40 minutes away from the Michigan border. Back up to investigate our stuff going on in Grand Rapids. The National Weather Service office in the southeast side of Grand Rapids, I guess you'd call it, about ready to get hit with the wind gust. You could see that circle. That's right where the radar is. That's where the office is. That's where the anemometer, the wind gauge, is. Okay, so we have another possible tornado warning. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Stay safe, and we will try to keep you updated as long as we can. All right, let's see what we have here. So now severe thunderstorm warnings for Allegan and Kalamazoo County. The Weather Service telling us monitoring cells south of Grand Rapids, particularly where advancing line is intercepting and merging with isolated cells. So that's Kalamazoo area, Delton, Hastings. Heading toward Charlotte, Eaton Rapids, Lansing. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, the Ellises, Connie and Russ and family, better start thinking about in the next 15 minutes or so taking cover if you need to. And that new tornado warning was for LaPorte, Indiana and St. Joseph, Indiana. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can get you back here now on my chat. Oh, bear with me just a second. Okay, a new tornado warning just issued there. You can see it there. New tornado warning issued by National Weather Service in Grand Rapids. They're saying that a new tornado warning for southeastern Kent County, southwestern Ionia County, northern Berry County until 10:15. This is also a radar indicated rotation. Severe thunderstorms are capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage. We're located along a line extending from Caledonia to near Middleville, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Could be a tornado in there, could be 70-mile-an-hour winds. Dangerous storms will be near Middleville at 9:35, Freeport around 9:40. Interesting look. multiple circulations, one around Irving heading toward Carlton, another one around Caledonia, where you see the brighter red next to the brighter green, and it, you know, your eye can pick it out. It just looks kind of odd. Those are rotations along a line of severe thunderstorms. On the north side of Grand Rapids, here we have another rotation. You are in the tornado warning, Northview, Plainfield Township, Grand Rapids Township, Comstock Park, Cedar Springs. You're out of it right now, but you are in the severe thunderstorm part of it. Then we go down through Cascade, and then Caledonia. That's where we have another wind burst showing up. Showing 58, 60 mile an hour winds. Here's another little, what we call a kind of a inflow notch. So there could be a rotation there around Irving. You know, what you're seeing is that this very warm, moist air is kind of feeding into this. And now the new update, and remember, as this gets a little bit away from the radar, it's going to be a little bit off the ground, and we'll see the wind speeds go up. So you should be away from the windows, definitely in the southeastern part of Kent County. There, it appears as though the winds are picking up there. All right, so here we are. Let's give you a rundown, see what's going on. Sorry, folks, I just can't see the chat for some reason here, so I can't answer any questions at the moment. They're very clearly evident. Let's see. Tornado developing, I would say, right here, east of Caledonia. The Weather Service telling me tornado signature on radar east of Caledonia at 9:35, 1 minute ago. So they're seeing this. You're seeing it live also. You see that bright red and kind of that strange configuration. That is where a tornado likely is, I would say. There also could be one around the Irving area. And then the wind gusts are coming out of the east side of Grand Rapids and heading toward northeastern Kent County. So let's look at this a little closer here. Strengthening, as you can see with every scan. So this is showing a 83 mile an hour wind there, and I would say that there is extremely dangerous severe weather in this region here, east of Caledonia, northwest of Freeport. Kind of fix your eyes on that. You should be definitely in your basement, or you should be in the middle part of your house as that comes through your area, the far southeast corner of Kent County. So kind of focus your eye there. I'm going to set it into motion so you can see the track. You can see how it's come across Caledonia and now developing and heading toward Clarksville and Lake Odessa and Freeport. Would not be surprised if there is a tornado on the ground with this. Rain wrapped. This is the storm relative velocity. So this kind of gives you a clearer picture by backing out the overall wind flow. And you can see that tornado appears to be it's still not confirmed. Okay, so we do have an observed tornado now. Tornado warning remains in effect for southeastern Kent County. Let's see what they say here. Weather Service telling us that, let's see, tornado warning remains in effect till 10:15 for southeastern Kent, southwestern Ionia County, and northern Berry counties. At 9:35, 3 minutes ago, a confirmed tornado was located near Freeport, or 10 miles northwest of Hastings, moving east at 55 miles an hour. It's a damaging tornado, and it'll be at Freeport at 9:40. So it's in the Freeport area right now and heading toward Freeport and heading toward Lake Odessa at 9:45. So you should be in your basement. This is moving very quickly, 55 miles an hour. So, here in Michigan, we often like to say, tornado, what a unique thing. You go outside onto the porch. Not in this case, because the moment that you know a tornado is there, it would be right upon you. So here you can see it clearly developing on the radar. The Weather Service has confirmed that it is actually a tornado. They haven't said that it's on the ground, but generally, we call a tornado when it's on the ground, and it looks like it would be. We're pretty close to the radar, only, maybe 30 miles away or so. So we're getting a low scan on the horizon, a really good look at it, unfortunately, I guess we should say. Go back to the velocity mode to see if we can see it more clearly. Let's in fact actually look at a couple of other things. Bear with me a second. The correlation coefficient may be starting to show the tornado right here just to the southwest of Clarksville and near Freeport. Not real evident just yet. So you are looking at southeast Kent County, southwest Ionia County, northern part of Berry County. Weather Service saying that there is a tornado, a confirmed tornado. with that. See if they have any more information for us here. Unconfirmed report of a 70-mile-an-hour estimated wind at 108th and Patterson from a trained spotter. The Weather Service at the radar reporting only a 32-mile-an-hour gust. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. So I'm going to try to back out here and give you a bigger look. But first I want to let you know that those of you in this area right here of southeastern Kent County, getting ready to come into southwestern Ionia County, Clarksville, Freeport, Lake Odessa, you want to go to your basement. You want to be in there now, and if you don't have a basement, go to the middle part of your house where you don't see any windows. Now moving out of Kent County, it's still on the border of Kent County, now moving toward Clarksville and Lake Odessa. This is where the tornado is likely at, somewhere right in this region. Let's back out and see what we have going on. Now we still have the observed tornado on the ground, was large and confirmed over the last, half hour, down in northern Indiana. Let's take a look at that one. Let's find ourselves a better radar site, maybe. Okay, so that shows it very clearly. If we pick the northern Indiana, North Webster radar, and you can very clearly see the tornado there. This is Indiana, but we get a good track. Now we're going to start to get an idea of when it could head into Michigan. So we'll use this track right here, and you can see the motion toward the northeast. Tornado warnings all in effect for these regions here. Now, those have just been added. Southern part of Berrien County. And this, what has been a large and confirmed large and dangerous tornado, would be toward Bertrand about 10:34. So what would that be? About 45 minutes before this large, long-lasting supercell thunderstorm with a confirmed tornado would make it to Michigan. Does it hold together? Does it continue that? They have. There is no reason to think that it couldn't. So I would be preparing if you are in the Niles, Buchanan, Bertrand area. Of course, you're in a Galilean. Let's see what they say on this. Tornado warning for northwestern St. Joseph County in north central Indiana, northeastern LaPorte County, and southeastern Berrien County in southwest Michigan until 10:15. At 9:26, Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado were located on a line extending from near Three Oaks to 7 miles west of New Carlisle to near LaPorte, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Let's give you some cities. This dangerous storm will be near New Carlisle around 9:30. That's Old Buchanan around 9:40. That's where it's at now. South Bend and Niles around 9:55. Georgetown and Roseland around 9:55. Let's look at that one a little closer. That appears to be also developing a tornado. So right now we have a large and confirmed and large tornado on the ground that has been on the ground for a couple of counties in Indiana now, moving toward the northeast, eventually heading maybe toward Bertrand and Edwardsburg. So you're going to want to be aware of that. Now we see a possible tornado developing at Buchanan and Niles. Let's look at the storm relative velocity, see if we can pick that out better. Right here, heading again northeast, so we'll in Cass County we'll see a tornado warning here very shortly. Pokagon, Cassopolis. I've lived in Michigan for about 35 years, but I don't know all these little towns. Dowagiac, of course, Penn. And then let's go back upstream and see what's going on here. We got to get it back to our Grand Rapids radar. So picking the right radar really helps you see things properly. And here is the tornado. This would be in the southwest part of Ionia County and the northern part of Berry County, right around, looks like it's coming through the Clarksville area right now, heading right toward Lake Odessa. We'll likely see this extended to Portland very shortly here. And as we go up to the north, note that the wind gust, the squall line winds, have seemed to weaken somewhat on the north side of Grand Rapids as we get into Cedar Springs. We take a look at what we got here. So they're actually not even under a severe thunderstorm warning in that case at Cedar Springs. So Kent County is cleared out of any sort of warning. Now the activity is focusing to the south, and I want to remind you that if you see any of these red tornado warning boxes starting to pulsate like that one is, that means that it's an observed, confirmed tornado on the ground. It's a, I guess I should say it's a considerable tornado, because this storm here in Ionia County does have a confirmed tornado with it, or has had. Looks to be the circulation part looks to be heading straight east. The track is showing it moving northeast, and that's what the thunderstorms have been doing, but the circulation can move straight east. It's also a sign of a strengthening thunderstorm. And remember, I showed you we have this in notch. So this is kind of a hybrid. This is a squall line with a flow into it that causes the circulation, and there's your worst severe weather where you need to be taking cover. Again, Clarksville to Lake Odessa, heading east. To the Portland area, south of Portland, Eagle, Sunfield, Mulliken. That's our one tornado warning now for southern Ionia, northern Berry County. We slide down the line. Kalamazoo, you're into a severe thunderstorm warning. Then we slide down the line and we watch. We have to switch radars here to get an idea of what's going on in the far southwest part. Tornado warning for Buchanan, Niles, Bertrand now under the tornado warning. And the one that we are really interested in and concerned about is this confirmed large tornado that's been on the ground in northern Indiana, and it's moving toward the northeast. I'll set it in motion. So what you want to look at if you're in the far southern part of Michigan, like around Bertrand and Edwardsville and Granger, you want to look at the track of this. And it's about in this direction. So it does look like the storm, the radar algorithm has a nice track to it, an accurate track, and here are the times. So 10:10 west side of South Bend, 10:25 approaching the Michigan border, Edwardsville 9:45. Clear as day. Let's see if various other looks. The storm relative velocity, very clear on this one. At Stillwell and moving toward the northeast. Surprised they have not blanketed that whole area with tornado warning, but they will shortly. Let's see if we can find a debris ball. Another tornado warning coming out here. Debris ball not showing up clearly. Good news there, but we do know that it's got a confirmed tornado with it, and they've been calling it a large tornado. By the way, severe thunderstorms out over the southern end of Lake Michigan, so a second round possible. So right now, 3 tornado warnings. Embedded in a line of severe thunderstorms. Now the tornado warning just extended. So here's your new tornado warning. Let's see what it says. Tornado warning for southeastern Ionia County, southwestern Clinton County, northern Eaton County. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located along a line from near Lake Odessa to near Nashville, moving east 55 miles an hour. This dangerous storm will be near Portland around 10 o'clock, so just a couple of minutes away from Portland. You should be in your safe spot in your house, basement, really the safest. Grand Ledge and Potterville around 10:05. Other locations in the path of these tornadic storms include Lansing, Capital Region International Airport, and Edgemont Park. So Lansing, get ready for this storm system. This leading edge, gust front, severe line of winds, but maybe with rotation, could have a tornado in it. Going to the velocity mode here. Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong radar for you. There we go. was on the Detroit radar. This is showing it much clearer. The line of severe wind heading toward Portland, heading through Lake Odessa right now, heading through Nashville right now. Calamo, Chester, Charlotte, Potterville, and eventually Lansing. Getting ready to be hit by strong winds, possibly gusting up to 70 miles an hour along that wavy gust front line. So the tornado warning in effect: Sunfield, Mulliken, Eagle, Portland. See if the storm relative gives us a clearer picture. It does, of where the rotation is. Again, right, kind of what has seemed to me over the last 10 years as I've, learned Southwest Michigan's weather, seems to be kind of a tornado alley there around the Portland region. Me and my buddy caught one live for you, way back. That one that hit Portland, what's that been? Maybe 10 years ago, something like that. What I want to point out is that these kind of things can have multiple circulations. So there could be something here, then there's, the wind gust right here. Then it almost looks like there's another one trying to form. There could be two tornadoes in there. The other one, Vermontville, Chester. Storm relative shows it nicely. See if we can pick out some wind speeds. There's 69. Now, but remember, in a tornado, it's more about the rotation. So this is the wind away from the radar, coming this way, and then there's wind this way, and the two combined make up the tornado. Now look at this one. This one has 85 mile an hour winds showing. It's on 86 there. So definitely your worst part right now. Very severe, very dangerous storm moving through the southern part of Ionia County. I'll read you the copy. At 9:54, severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located from a line from near Lake Odessa to near Nashville, moving east at 55 miles an hour. Heading right toward the Portland area very quickly. North of Grand Rapids, things have calmed down a touch. We go northward. It's starting to get windy in the north, but nothing severe. And we can see that it looks like there is a fairly massive wind gust line coming toward the entire Lansing area. So Lansing, get ready for 70 mile an hour wind gusts and tornadic conditions. You can see the tornado warning right now extends right here to the west side of Lansing, Waverly, Diamonddale, Potterville, Grand Ledge. See if we're getting any Clearly, 2 circulations there. One here, north of Chester, heading that way. Potterville, Diamonddale, west side of Lansing, Waverly. Second one around Portland now, heading that way. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa tracking a bow echo coming across the southern part of Michigan, and the bow part where you see the most curvature. That's where the strongest winds are, but we also are detecting these little notches where the tornadoes are likely located. Check some observations from the Weather Service. Ionia reported rotation at Lake Odessa. Hearing that MSU's emergency manager got the tornado warning on the east side of Lansing. Weather Service also saying watching 2 circulations west of Lansing heading east. This is out of Kent County. Train spotter reports railroad crossing guards at 80th and Chicago Drive have blown off of their mounts. That's a new one for us. That means it's a really strong wind. Severe thunderstorm warning for Kalamazoo County is canceled. Looks like Kent County is going to be a mess. Looks like Ionia County is going to be a mess with trees down. Okay, so MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here tracking the bow echo. Well defined, pretty easy to understand, heading into Clinton County, heading through Eaton County, heading toward Lansing right now. Lansing's about 10-15 minutes away. The west side of Lansing is officially under a tornado warning at the moment. We'll see if they continue or extend it. They probably will, because they are seeing, we are seeing, all of us together are seeing the rotations. And what that does is, you know, this line of severe storms can produce 70-mile-an-hour winds, but when you add a rotation, it can up the wind speed and give it a different force and give it some more damage, unfortunately. So here we are. This is that tornado warning for southeastern Ionia County, southwestern Clinton County, northern Eaton County, until 10:30. Let's track this and see if we can get a timing into Lansing. So 10:12 right here by Potterville, and then it says it would be into the east side of Lansing at 10:27. So it's only going to take 15 minutes to roll across the whole Lansing area. Very fast mover. You continue to see rotations right here. So there's Charlotte, there's Potterville, there's Grand Ledge. Remember, the whole line can have 70-mile-an-hour winds, but where we see these signatures, that could be the tornado, and we'll get an idea of that. Appears to again be tracking just a little bit northeast, not straight east, but just a little bit northeast. Seeing wind speeds in here, 71 miles an hour. We go up to here, and we're seeing wind speeds now at 90 miles an hour. So very severe winds coming across I-96, Eagle to Portland, and heading east. Get ready west of the DeWitt area, southwestern part of Clinton County. You're about ready to get hit by damaging winds. We're going to see a lot of damage out of this by morning. Make sure you check MLive.com/weather. We will, I'm sure, have images for you and cover it. So there's your tornado warning. Lansing, that's the next thing. Lansing, you've got severe weather coming through the heart of all of Lansing here. This isn't an isolated thing. It's through all of Lansing. Let's go back down and check where we had our long-lasting tornado, and fortunately it looks like they've taken that down to a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm not really sure why. We still see that rotation coming towards South Bend. Now we see another rotation forming in Michigan. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning here. Pokagon, Edwardsburg, Granger. Moving toward Cassopolis, you're under the severe thunderstorm warning. For 70 mile an hour winds possible. Let's see, for Cass County, all of Cass County, and southeastern Berrien County. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts are expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. So big picture, and we can't use just one radar off of this. Still getting the best look out of Grand Rapids. Remember, the red, oranges are the wind flow away from the radar. The radar is at Grand Rapids. And then the greens are winds toward the radar. So obviously you see the westerly winds behind the Bow Echo. Let's take a look at what this does. So Lansing, you got to get ready here. Strongest winds now coming into Lansing or at Grand Ledge, Potterville. Give me just a second. Texting my nephew in there, tell him to take cover and let me know what he has. See if he responds. So this is the worst part of our storm right now. This area right in here. Looks pretty nasty down to Charlotte and all of that heading toward the east. So, DeWitt, get ready. Perry, get ready. Next half hour. East side of Ingham County, or Ingham County, I should say. Get ready. Damaging wind gusts. Onondaga, Mason, Holt. Lansing, East Lansing, all in this. Now we're updated. I'm going to leave that here. Let's go to this so it's kind of something you're familiar with. You can see, and the winds match up with that bow echo. Looks like another one of these in notches trying to develop heading toward St. John's. You need to be taking cover also. Treon roadway at Belmont in Kent County. We're going to see a lot of that. Let's see. Weather Service says currently not planning to extend tornado warning through the rest of Clinton or Ingham County. Strong straight line winds still expected, but confidence in tornadoes is dropping. It doesn't mean it's any worse, or any better, I should say, but you're about ready to get hit with straight line winds, which in my mind they're more widespread, so they're actually more dangerous. Kalamazoo gusted to 45-ish knots. Battle Creek gusted to 43 miles an hour. Kalamazoo to 45 miles an hour. All right, let's see here. And this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. So Lansing, you're about ready to have the high wind gusts. Weather Service saying they are not planning on extending the tornado warning. Wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour possible. I want to take a look at what our models say for the east side of the state. Yes. Okay. The Kraken 6140. That's what I'm going to look at right now. Give me just a second here. Try and do a couple of things at once. I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at the high resolution rapid refresh model. You know, it obviously will continue to the east over the next 1 to 2 hours, but will it stay strong? It appears as though it could be weakening slightly. Let me see what model has this pretty good. Okay, I think I want to show you this one. Give me a second and check one more thing here. Death Trap Gaming, Saginaw, you're probably about 2 hours away. I'm going to cover that here in just a second. Okay, let's look at pulling up the model that I like for this. Okay. All right, let's go to this. So now we're going to look at the high resolution rapid refresh model that forecasts the radar. So this looks so realistic, you might think, is that what's really happening? Remember, this is into the future. So we're going to look at that, the high resolution rapid refresh model. Those of you that are in the tornado warning and the straight line wind area, you want to be taking cover as it moves through. Around the St. John's, I'm seeing another one of these in notches at the north end of the line. I don't like that. It's under a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so now $11 So 11 o'clock, probably looking at Saginaw to Flint, to Jackson, approaching Ann Arbor, midnight. And note that this model still continues scattered severe thunderstorms. Stumps AC, Mount Pleasant, probably not severe. You're going to get storminess, a lot of rain there. Can you see the rotation? Well, I got to go back to the radar, but there's a rotation west of Mount Pleasant, a general rotation. That's the low pressure center, I do believe, probably. And that enhances just a large area of rain. Okay, so there you see, we're calling this midnight into the thumb and 1 a.m. out of the thumb. So again, this is about 11 o'clock. We're talking Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, down through Owasso, heading toward Flint, heading toward Ann Arbor, in through Jackson, next half hour. And then an hour later at midnight, Detroit area, into the thumb, still continuing to show severe thunderstorms, and then 1 a.m. heading out of the thumb, and then we would be done. Let's see what else we got. 4 miles north of Woodbury in Ionia County, extensive tree damage with multiple trees down along M66 just past Bipley Road. The tornado warning continues for southwestern Clinton and northeastern Eaton counties. Let's see, Weather Service telling us a minute ago, tornadic cell in Cass County will be closely watched as it moves east-northeast along boundary. If boundary doesn't push too far south and cell can sustain itself, far southeast Kalamazoo and southern Calhoun counties could eventually be threatened. Okay, so let's go back to the radar and get you updated on what's going on here. I do have the chat working now, so I can try to take your reports and answer your questions. Although it's a little bit lagging. The Legend 1776. Should I get to the basement in Ann Arbor? Not yet. Ann Arbor, you have about an hour. Ann Arbor is a place where there's a lot of severe weather. So eventually you may have to. All right, let's go back to the radar, see what's going on. So the heart of the bow echo now coming through Clinton County, heading toward Shiawassee County, heading through most of Lansing, heading toward Holt, Eaton Rapids. You're into it right now. The tornado warning still exists. They're just letting it ride. Now we have a tornado warning down here heading toward Cassopolis. We better take a look at this one on the velocity mode. And this is a radar indicated tornado warning, I do believe so far, yes. And see if we can get a better look at that one with the northern Indiana radar, and we can. So let's go in here. This is a tornado warning. How about Bay City? My parents live in a mobile home and both are dependent on walkers. Kelly Jeske. 11 o'clock, and you know, it appears as though the Saginaw area and Bay City are a little bit into the cooler air. So severe thunderstorms possible, but probably talking 60 miles an hour in, more scattered. Azrael, do you think Ionia is out of the tornado danger for now? Let me check. I do believe so. Yes, it is. Ionia has been cleared out of all the warnings. This is the one that we want to be looking at now, as it has the clearest signature. This is in Cass County. We'll set it in motion for you. And again, we see the inflow notch. That's a sign that warm air is feeding into the thunderstorm. Can cause the rotation, can cause a tornado, can cause severe wind gusts along that line. So 70 mile an hour winds possible, and radar is indicating that this could produce a tornado in through Cass County. Cassopolis, Vandalia, Penn, Marcellus. By the way, me and my editor and weather team partner, Tonda Gmitter, have been trying to keep track of all these tornadoes. We are at 18 so far for the year. And depending on what they do with the possible Munger tornado yesterday, could be 19. And then it looks like we will be probably adding on to that some. St. Clair County under a tornado watch, so they've extended the tornado watch. Ethan Worth. Clinton County seems a bit cold. I don't think it would be. Should you put your good car in the garage? I would do so. Grand Ledge, it looks like it's through the Grand Ledge area. Lansing, it is through Lansing now. No one's really talking about, is the storm strengthening or weakening? I would say, if you give me those two choices, I would say it's holding steady. It pulses. Various places weaken and various places strengthen in a situation like this. I always like to go back to the big picture when it gets kind of complex and give you just the basics. We've had some people asking about Bay City. So let's finally go to the Detroit radar. And set it in motion. You can see the rotation, the large rotation, west of Midland, Mount Pleasant. That's the storm center. That's the low pressure center that formed because there's a strong jet stream aloft and it sucks the air from the ground. Makes a low pressure center. It looks like we have what we call a wake low, W-A-K-E, and that's south of Grand Rapids. You see that clear circular area? That's behind the severe line, the Bow Echo. The wind pushes downward, clears everything out. That's a wake low. There's maybe another one down by Benton Harbor, but I would say, I'd say what we're seeing is the northern extent of the significant severe weather. All of the significant severe weather will probably be south of this line that I just drew on here. Doesn't mean that Saginaw County might not have a severe thunderstorm warning, but I don't, and you are under a tornado watch, but it'll be hard to get that severe the way the radar looks right now. But Owasso, Flint, and Livingston County, Howell, Hamburg, Heartland, eventually Ann Arbor. Now what we see with Ann Arbor a lot of times is if a line of storms is to the north of it, there seems to always be some shear, and we can get a tornadic storm to the south of that line through Washtenaw County. We don't have that right now. I'm just saying that could be something that we could encounter in a half hour to an hour here. We do have the tornado warning here for Cass County. You see where it's outlined. Otherwise, surrounding it is severe thunderstorm warning. And Cass County, unfortunately, is not in really an area that the radar shows up really well. There's the tornado warning. But in Cass County, I would say, it's just a very severe thunderstorm. Cassopolis again, Penn, Marcellus. And we do get a good look at the wind field out of the Grand Rapids radar. It's getting a little bit of ways away from the radar to say that it's a surface wind, but there you still have the 80 mile an hour, 83, 84 mile an hour winds. It's probably 10, 15,000 feet up in the air there, but it's the engine for the severe weather. And this should give you a good idea of the Bow Echo, downburst winds, heading through eastern Clinton County, barreling right for Shiawassee County. So along I-69, get ready for strong winds, 60, 70 mile an hour winds, in through Ingham County also. And then eventually that will be heading toward Livingston County. Someone here asking, let's see, Merrill in Saginaw County. Probably okay right now. Isn't there a direct touchdown in Lansing? Not that I know of just yet. Mecosta, Adriana, you should be okay. You got a lot of rain coming there. You're on the north side of that low pressure center. Greetings, Grand Blanc. You are, someone's asking, Genesee County, and you probably, it appears as that wind gust is heading right toward Genesee County. So Grand Blanc, Flint, Beecher, Flint Township, Swartz Creek, probably a half hour, 11 o'clock. Check if any new reports have come in. A lot of these storms have been very photogenic. Lansing, the airport, gusted to 50 miles an hour. That's not terrible. Is there any more severe weather coming to Olivet, Charlotte? Should be over. Be hard to have a second burst. Tyler Rogers, how's the Elma area? Not terrible. Is Kalamazoo okay? Should be okay now in Kalamazoo. Tornado warning never extended into Ingham County. Correct. Okemos getting hit hard with the rain. Pure Life, Simple Life, smart, bracing in Owasso. Lansing, it's on Lansing right now, or through Lansing. Lansing only had a 35 mile an hour gust. WLNS David Young reporting that out of downtown Lansing. So that's good. Looks like now what we might be seeing happen here is the storms might be becoming what we call elevated. There may be a little bit of cooler layer wedging at the surface, and what happens is a severe wind comes down out of the thunderstorm, but if you get a little cooler layer, it blocks all of that from coming down, versus when it just came into southwest Michigan, it was still 84-ish, dew point of 73, so that was unstable. So the air coming down out of the thunderstorm, the severe wind gust, is able to transfer down to the ground. So that's what we're getting out of this when we have some actual measured reports out of Lansing. I like that report, 35, 40 mile an hour gusts at that location, meaning that maybe not all of this is transferring to the ground. And that's good news. Just your girl, Anna OG. Saginaw, looks okay. You're going to have some thunderstorms, some heavy rain. Wild Rake, Jackson. Right now it appears to be north of Jackson, but we'll have to watch for, I want to regroup myself here on the radar and see what's going on. Let's talk to Jackson and Ann Arbor, see what we have. And with that, I think we could start to go to the Detroit radar. That's a nice perspective there. Okay, so wind burst heading up I-69 through Shiawassee County. Is Charlotte tornado clear? Yes, it is. Now this is interesting. Note the movement of the thunderstorms out by Kalamazoo. They're heading northward, which tells me that we've already eroded the outflow boundary of this Bow Echo, and we're back to a south wind and back to possibly becoming unstable. And here is our tornado warning in Cass County. Let me read you the information on that. Let's see, a tornado warning remains in effect until 11 p.m. for eastern Cass County. At 10:33, 5 minutes ago, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Cassopolis, moving east at 30 miles an hour. So this is a radar indicator. Let's see if, I don't know if we'll get any sort of velocity look at this. That far out. Looks like Cassopolis to Vandalia would be the worst part of the storm right now. And then as we slide down into northern Indiana, still a couple of tornado warnings along there. So here's your good look. We slide up from Dowagiac, Cassopolis, Three Rivers. You're about ready to get hit. Kalamazoo, you are not under severe thunderstorm warnings, but you've got a lot of rain and thunderstorms around. And then we go over to east of Lansing, Mason, Williamston. And we're only getting 40, 45 mile an hour gusts reported out of Lansing. So this looks like it's starting to weaken to me. As far as the severe weather goes, it's becoming more elevated perhaps. But it's kind of a crazy setup, so we can't really ignore anything. Let's go up, let's check northern Michigan, see what's going on there. Kind of bizarre looking radar. You see the curl. Notice the heavier rain around Clare and Mount Pleasant, Big Rapids. That is the low pressure center. Vince, is it coming to Detroit? Eventually, around midnight, but I'd have to say that it'll be weakening at that time. So,
I heard like half hour ago, I heard a big thump.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where
Yeah,
it all came from.
I'm following it live with everybody.
You what?
I'm live.
Oh, you are?
So here we go into the southeast part of the state. Give you an idea of when it gets to Ann Arbor. Definitely appears to be breaking down as we look at it, and that's good news. The Bow Echo heading toward Owasso, heading toward Livingston County, Howell. I'm thinking now that as it breaks down, You know, this could be 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts scattered in spots. What I don't like is the motion of this area back in here, heading back to the north, sign that the cooler air is not sweeping in just yet. One tornado warning still. Let's look at that one a little bit closer, but let's get the right radar. The radar, you know, it's an issue, folks. We can only afford so many of them with our tax dollars, and there are places where it's between two radars, like this one here, which appears to be maybe strengthening. So this is our only tornado warning in Michigan right now, but it does look valid. East of Cassopolis, heading toward Fabius and Constantine. Might be another tornado warning coming out here for Three Rivers. Let me just check for you. Okay. Okay, a tornado warning now for Cass and St. Joseph counties just issued. So we're going to see that pop up here on the screen in a second here. Tornado warning for eastern Cass County that we're looking at right now, and St. Joseph County. There you see it. Covers all of St. Joseph County, Flower Field, Three Rivers, Fabius, right in the track of this. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, radar indicated, was located along a line extending from near Marcellus to near Simonton Lake, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. The tornado could be near Three Rivers and Constantine around 10:50, so you're talking only 5 minutes from Three Rivers. White Pigeon around 10:55, Centerville 11, and Colon around 11:15. Also watch out in Vandalia, Klinger Lake, Donnell Lake, Fishers Lake, Union, Jones, Fawn River, and Corey Lake. And so you can see, again, one of those in notches. Right down in here. But there could be multiple rotations along here. So they just blanket covered the all of that county there, St. Joseph County. Let's see, storm relative velocity. Let's look at they look about the same. So here's St. Joseph County. Just that whole county, you should take cover as the storms approach you. Here it is. This one you can kind of almost imagine a hook echo to the west of Constantine, moving northeast. So Three Rivers, you're right in the track. Fabius, you're right in the track. Eventually Mendon and Leonidas. I know that one because we had a tornado in that one in the last year. And then, of course, there's Union City. Let's, heaven forbid, hopefully that it does not hold together there. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Not many reports. That is good news. The bark could be a little bit more worse than the bite, maybe, in this situation, but they're robust storms. Can you, Dylan Shots? I feel you, buddy. I want to go to bed too. I got up at 6 this morning. I've been going since. Can you go to bed? Let's get Dylan to bed. Can we go to bed yet east of Lake Odessa? Yes. I think you can. Let me find my cursor. I'm also working with 2 screens. So yeah, Lake Odessa out of the severe weather. Now Genesee County going under a severe thunderstorm warning. Certainly on the north side, you can, on the north side of this line where we had the very robust bow echo coming through Kent County and Ottawa County, you can imagine that that has weakened some. There's still very powerful thunderstorms, but they do appear to have weakened. I just do not like that flow from the south. It tells me that, you know, it might not be done. Ann Arbor and Detroit, and certainly as we go later in the night, you know, we're seeing it now. It's cooling off. So the storms have less energy. But when you have the dynamics, when you have that jet stream aloft that's zipping by at 80 to 100 miles an hour, that can transfer down. That's the engine, I always tell you, of the severe weather. Let me do some poking around here, some observations, and see what's going on. What does everybody have? Did anybody get any sort of significant weather report? Steve-O Baby 6048. I love some of these YouTube handles. I'm in Waterford, Michigan, over on, he's in Waterford. It's going to be, from the base, the looks of it, it's going to be about an hour or two, and I would estimate that you would be okay at that point. The tornado watch goes through 2 a.m. because they feel like the storms will be over there by about 2 a.m. I don't think I'll be with you at 2 a.m. I think I'll be in a coma by then. Leave your phone on. By the way, you know that most of us have a service on our phone where if a tornado warning is issued right where your phone is located, it will go off. It'll have that amber alert sound. It'll wake you up. So if you're in the southeast, if you're in Ann Arbor, Detroit area, you know, Oakland County, take the phone with you to bed, put it on your nightstand, keep it on. If a tornado warning occurs, you'll wake up for sure. Another tornado warning coming out. Let's see, where is this for? Probably northern Indiana, yes. Just had a tornado that is observed on the ground in Elkhart, Indiana. Let's scroll down. So we're down here. Right on the border. See what it says. This is that storm that weakened, but it had a long-lasting tornado. At 10:51, a tornado-producing storm was located over Bristol or near Seminton Lake, moving east at 35 miles an hour. This is a radar-confirmed tornado, meaning that they're confident enough that in analyzing the radar, they are pretty sure that there's a tornado in there. Got to go back to the Webster, Indiana radar. So it appears to be, somewhere around Bristol, heading toward White Pigeon. Constantine, you have it coming toward you on the gust front. A lot of nasty weather right in there through St. Joseph County right now. Also maybe north of Three Rivers, a rotation. We may wind up in the morning with seeing little damage paths where the rotations were. Look at the winds bursting behind the storm system down in Middlebury and LaGrange, Indiana, and heading northward. So this is where the current tornado threat is. St. Joseph County, far southern part of the state. Now, where we would have to worry about that is, let's just kind of draw the mean storm motion. Yep. Ann Arbor. Jackson. Maybe not so much Jackson, but Coldwater, Hillsdale, Jonesville, Somerset Center. And you can see the well-defined in notch on this. Right here. That signifies the air is coming around, and so that's shear. That's what develops the tornado. So this is the surface wind in here, and then remember the jet stream wind is like this out of the southwest right now. So that's a tremendous amount of shear causing the storm to rotate. That's what produces the tornadoes. Kalamazoo, you should be okay now. You are on the back side of this, I do believe. Southeastern Kalamazoo County could be in line, and we'll probably see, we might see a tornado warning here shortly in the Coldwater area and up into Calhoun County, I believe it would be. And that would be about an hour away from Ann Arbor. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Ann Arbor. I'm sorry. I told my editor, Tonda, at MLive, I said, hey, you know, if I got to get up and get a drink of water or something, I'll just leave the radar running. So that may happen. I'll let you know if it does. Looking at some of these reports. Let's see what else we have here. Grand Rapids Weather Service pretty quiet now. Severe thunderstorm warning for Ingham County will expire at 11. So Ingham County, you're out of the woods then. Our main thing is we're watching another well-developed in-notch into a thunderstorm develop right along the Michigan-Indiana border. Sturgis under the tornado warning, Three Rivers. And eventually heading toward Coldwater. Let's see. Tornadoes possible in Owasso, Ethan. Let's go back north. Let's pick our radar. So quite a large area of rain up through here. Not severe. Heavy soaking rain. Wonder if we can even get a storm total accumulation yet. 7/10 up there around Clare. Saginaw County, Bay County, Midland County, you look okay, I would say. At this time of the night, with what we have going on, I don't believe that those are going to really increase much. So Tuscola County, Huron County, you're probably okay. Genesee County, you're officially under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see. They're talking 60-mile-an-hour winds. So Genesee County, the Weather Service kind of giving us a clue as to what they think is going on. And that is that, when they start to take down the wording on the severe thunderstorms, when they start to tell us instead of 60-mile-an-hour winds, or instead of 70-mile-an-hour winds, they start to put the wording as 60-mile-an-hour winds, that's a good idea that they see it trending down also. And, that would be your low-end isolated severe thunderstorm. W Trades X, South Lyon Finebro, for now. Genesee County, Blue Eyes, Cochise, you're under the severe thunderstorm warning. It does not look particularly ominous. showing 60-mile-an-hour winds in Shiawassee County, and that may not be reaching the ground because remember, we're starting to get this cooler wedge at the surface, so the winds won't all come down. How's the Livonia, Farmington area going to look? Livonia and Farmington Hills. Yeah, let's look at Oakland County. Yeah, it's looking better and better all the time. You could see through Livingston County you're officially under a severe thunderstorm warning, but it doesn't look really too crazy. And if we're going to be another half hour into before it gets into Oakland County, I don't think you're going to be too crazy. Eaton Rapids, you should be all right now. You got thunderstorms, but not anything real severe. Katie Rose, we've had that happen before. We haven't started raining here, and my dog's standing on me in bed, now in my lap. He is sensing something. Bobby Pritchard, can I sleep safely tonight? Flint Township. I think so. You're going to have it coming through, and it does not look really too crazy as far as Genesee County weather goes. Let's keep going back to our tornado. Let's see what radar we want to use on the St. Joseph. Tornado warning. Pretty impressive. Let's focus on this. This is right along the border. Only thing I don't like about this, look at the bright oranges behind the storm. That tells me there's still a lot of dynamics aloft. That's probably what we call a rear flank downdraft behind the storm. We may have had this in Munger yesterday. I talked to a farmer that had a grain bin bent. Their corn dryer, says weighs 8,000 pounds. He showed me pictures, was lifted and moved 2 or 3 inches on a cement pad. So that's quite a wind to lift an 8,000 pound corn dryer. And this rear flank downdraft is the storm moves just to your east by a couple of miles, and then all of a sudden the wind comes straight down on top of you. Maybe what we're seeing now, LaGrange and Howe, and heading toward Bronson, Coldwater. John Smith, 5547, Ann Arbor. Let's look at Ann Arbor. 16, don't be scared. Common sense, nothing in here is real super crazy, but I am concerned about St. Joseph County. That looks like it's a pretty real storm. Would Flint be safe enough that we can sleep through it? Yes, I do believe so. Anna, is it coming to Ypsilanti? Eventually, 45 minutes. Should I be in the basement for the night in Lansing? No. You are done in Lansing, I do believe. You are good to go. So right now we continue to track this tornado warning in St. Joseph County. Let's see. .58 severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes were located along a line extending from near Vicksburg to near White Pigeon, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So St. Joseph County, you want to be taking cover. Starting to get up into Calhoun County. We don't get really a great look in that area. All right, Ann Arbor. Let's figure out Ann Arbor here. It's definitely still in the warm sector. Definitely, you know, in the tornado watch till 2 a.m. Coldwater, Hillsdale, Napoleon, Tecumseh, Adrian, Ann Arbor. You kind of have a tricky next hour or so because these storms are moving from the south, which tells me that the cold air hasn't shut them off yet. Now, do you see the outflow boundary from the severe thunderstorms? This can help or hurt the situation. Here's the outflow boundary right here, this thin blue line. So what does that mean? That means that colder air from aloft is coming out of this thunderstorm. Will it make it to Ann Arbor and shut off the severe weather? I doubt it, based on the fact that everything looks like there's still a robust southerly flow. So Ann Arbor, you're probably, you could have severe weather at midnight or so. Detroit area could have severe weather midnight to 1 a.m. And right now we're watching St. Joseph County for the worst weather out there. Adria, why does the worst cell look like it's heading toward Detroit? Because it is. It's a ways away. It's it's at least 1 hour to 2 hours from Detroit, and that's a cooler time period. So it will likely weaken. So Yanko D. Goofy asking about Detroit Taylor. Just went over that. I would call it 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. Robust thunderstorms. Let's see. Crip Wolf, you can hear constant wind with the flickering lightning in St. Joe and Cass counties. Okay. Where are you in St. Joe, Cass County? Crip Wolf. Lake Odessa's fine. St. Clair County would be very late, 2 a.m., probably not severe. Howell, you got it coming to you now, and you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. I would call it at Howell a low-end severe thunderstorm. Stay away from the windows kind of deal. Lynn's. I'm in a trailer in Flint. Should I go to a friend's house to shelter? I think you'll be okay in Flint. It appears to be weakening. Macomb County, probably going to get it around 1 to 2 in the morning. Should be okay. Clarkston should be okay. Bloomfield, you should be okay. Low-end severe weather. Roscommon County, you're fine. You're into heavy rainfall. Not severe. Geo Effer 524. Yeah, he or she is talking about the radar forecast shows it weakening at 1:15. Yes, that's kind of what we've expected all along. One tornado, warning, St. Joseph County, and then 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, Genesee, Shiawassee, Livingston County. Low end there, low end is 60 miles an hour. Okay, Cade gives us from Three Rivers, heavy rain. It looks like it's east of Three Rivers now. 1 free Fitz, Ypsilanti, Canton. Probably going to be okay. Genesee County, Montrose, yes, you'll be all right. You're under severe thunderstorm warning. You're kind of on the edge of it, not really in it. Livingston County, Brighton, you're under officially that severe thunderstorm warning, but it really looks to be weakening there. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregros. I've been with you for a record time. And I haven't even had to go get up, get something to drink, or go to the bathroom yet, but that's coming. Let's see here. Owasso Community Airport, 50 mile an hour gusts, not bad. Checking the Grand Rapids reports. Tree on a house blocked the front door in Lansing. No injuries. I think we're going to find in the morning that Ottawa County had quite a bit of damage. Kent County was kind of maybe the worst hit so far, just because it looked like the Bow Echo peaked at that time. All of the population in Kent County, all the power lines and the trees, and the storm kind of peaked there as in a widespread nature. So I think we'll find Kent County might be a mess tomorrow morning. Much of us not looking bad, except for that storm in St. Joseph County. Wayne County area will get hit. I would say it will weaken. It'll be an hour or two. Continue to watch this tornado warning in St. Joseph County. Have to keep using the northern Indiana radar. They have not, well, this is good news, they have not extended the tornado warning, but I don't know. I think they will here maybe shortly. Still showing a wind burst by Sturgis. Muskegon County, Muskegon Heights, go to bed. You're okay. Flushing looks all right in Genesee County. Low end severe weather. Hey, Thomas. Good morning and good. Is it morning yet? No, not yet. Good night. Lansing's okay, Brian. Barrientos. Katie Rose, there has not been any reports of hail so far. Claire, is a storm in Indiana going to hit the thumb? It should weaken considerably. Southeast Lapeer should be okay also. New Buffalo, let's see, reporting a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. That's the highest I've seen. Okay, now this is good news. They've gone, so the Weather Service can really give us clues as to what they're thinking just by the wording on their, how they change the wording on their warnings. Now for Oakland County, they've issued a special weather statement. So we've gone from severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, west side of the state, to low-end severe thunderstorm warnings with the possibility of an isolated 60-mile-an-hour gust, Genesee County. Now Oakland County, special weather statement, wind gust to 50 miles an hour. Good news. There really should not be a reason why storms would strengthen at this time of the night, even in our classic tornado alley of Ann Arbor area. They seem to get, for some reason, they seem to get severe weather in the middle of the night. And they've gone with a severe thunderstorm warning for the Coldwater area, for Branch County, severe thunderstorm warning. Still 70-mile-an-hour gusts with that one possible. And that could be developing, this wind gust coming to the southern tier of counties. Coldwater, Hillsdale, Adrian. Looks like another one of these wind bursts is developing. You can see it there, Bronson, Jamestown, Angola, heading to the east. So you have the tough next hour because you probably still have severe weather to deal with. Hey, thanks for sticking with me here. A little shaky at first because I've had a problem with my internet service. You know, you pay for I think 300 meg, and I was checking the speed yesterday, and it was 7. That's really slow when everything you do is driven by the internet. Oh, Blossom Jornsen. You got some sort of green thing and it says $5. I don't know what that means. Maybe you donated to something. I don't know. How are we looking in Pontiac? What's the tornado potential? I think you're looking okay in Pontiac. I really do. There wouldn't be a reason why it would form late tonight. Okay, now here's a report. Let's see here. Someone mentioning that in, oh, Blossom Bjornsson, you win. You did give $5. I don't know to where, but bless your heart. You're the first person ever. Someone's saying in Colon it's quite windy. Well, you're under the tornado warning, so you should be taking cover there. Bad boys toys. Move to the interior part of your house or your basement for the next several minutes until it calms down. Faith in Good Works. What's probably in store for Washtenaw County, Ypsi, and Ann Arbor? I would say, you know, low end severe thunderstorms is. That was my best guess. They have not extended the tornado warning out of St. Joseph County into Branch County, and that's good news. And once that thing disappears, I think I'm going to let you go. Look to the north. The severe thunderstorm warnings are dropping. Genesee County still officially under one, but it's probably just letting it ride. It's not severe in Genesee County. Then you just got solid rain to the north. So what we're watching right now is that storm complex, St. Joseph County, heading toward Coldwater. It appears as though it's developing another one of these lines, severe lines, Angola down to Fort Wayne, sweeping northeast, so that can come to Hillsdale, and that could come to Adrian in the next, half hour or so. I just still really don't like the movement of the thunderstorm cells, like even north of Jackson. Look at their tracking back to the north. It almost appears as though there's a mesovortex forming there around Sturgis, Coldwater, and hopefully it doesn't become another little mini storm system. What I could say is Ann Arbor, Adrian, Jackson, if you're heading to bed, take the phone with you, leave it on, leave it close to you. If a tornado warning is issued, your phone will go off. I think you can disable that service. Hopefully you haven't. I don't know where it is. It'd be in the settings of your phone to make sure that you allow those alerts. If I'm in Waterford, should we all sleep downstairs? No, I don't think that's necessary. Krista Willis, you're welcome. Casey Kramer Perry, yes, you should be fine. See if there's any more new information about this tornado warning here. For Cass County is canceled at 11:13. Okay. Remains in effect for, St. Joseph County until 11:30. 4 more minutes. I told you I'd be with you for a while. It gives you a good look right there at what's going on. It's turning into some areas of moderate to heavy rain. You know, you could get it for half hour, an hour in any spot, but really starting to see the potential for severe weather go down. Outflow is about ready to come through Ann Arbor. You can see it right here. And that brings a cool air to the surface. So then it's real hard to become severe. So I know you're nervous in Ann Arbor. You had that tornado in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 weeks ago or something. But once you get the cold air at the surface, at this time of the night, it'd be really, really hard for Mother Nature to send you something that would be very dangerous. So I am about done with work for the day. 6:30 in the morning to midnight. Off and on. Not the entire time. Calhoun, you do have the tornado watch till 2 a.m., but they're starting to clear those out. Vicksburg sounds awful. Winds are strong. Yeah, you're right in it right now. So we could also, you know, with that wind aloft, that can come down behind it, and it can give you kind of an odd, steady 40-mile-an-hour wind, you know, that makes you wonder what's going on, because it could last a while. So I think we are in our last moments of the tornado warning in St. Joseph County, Coldwater, Jackson. You still could have some severe weather. Sturgis, it looks like it's past you now to the northeast, so you should be in the clear. Ann Arbor, I think you'll be okay. You're officially still under the tornado watch till 2 a.m. Keep the phone by your bedside. If it gets noisy, make sure you get to the middle part of your home. It's the best I can do for you. Thanks for staying with me here on the MLive Severe Weather Update. Tomorrow, if you could do me a favor, when you go to the office or wherever you're at, say, hey, you know, MLive and Mark Torregrossa covers severe weather. So that's what we do if we're available. Take care. I'm going to leave you now, and have yourselves a good night. Check mlive.com/weather tomorrow morning. They already told me I get